I don't know how you go into game one with so many injuries. Listen, the reality is, and you guys do this for a living, none of us, and I say this with love and respect, are elite athletes.
How dare you?
Wow.
Come on, our show.
No,
That's a college. That's a Division III college athlete right there, Jeremy.
That's wildly impressive. But you're behind a mic right now.
I sure am.
And you never made it to the big show.
Just missed.
And it's great. Just missed, just barely.
It's so close.
And I almost became an astronaut. We all want to do things in this life. But my point is that, these are elite athletes, and I don't know how exactly you go into week one with all these injuries. It's like, for me, I'm an actor and a stand-up, and I wore my voice up. I train every day. I try to figure out how to be the best version of myself. I don't know what the variables are to make sure that, going into the season, we have our roster there. But listen, it's disappointing. We were all really excited. He's a great coach. He did incredibly well with the Lions, and he came over. So we thought we had it, and then week two, I think we gave up 51 points to the Lions.
Yeah, 52 to 21.
Speaking of just missed, they were right there. What do you like during games? Like, what kind of fan are you? Are you yelling at the TV? Like, what kind of fan are you during games?
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking. I surprised myself how emotionally invested I am, to be honest with you. It's kind of shocking. I scream. I'm totally immersed in the game. As you guys know, and everyone listening, like, it's more than just a game to us. Like, why Bears? Okay, I'll tell you. I grew up watching with my father, so there's that connection that we all have to our team. I'm sure you guys with Boston, and we're very similar in Chicago, that we stand by our team. We're very loyal. And so when I watch the Bears, it's all those memories of growing up with my father and watching Walter Payton and watching the 85 Bears. And so all that is tied into it, and it means a lot to us.
Where do you stand on comedy sequels? Spinal Tap 2 just came out, which I saw. It actually was very good. Happy Gilmore 2. I know the Super Trooper guys are working on another Super Troopers now. It seems like it's a tough cookie to crack. They haven't all been successful, but these comedies that came out even like decades ago, getting another run at it. How do you feel? Then I guess aside from that, like if PCU or Old School or some of your great movies, if they came back to you and were like, hey, we're thinking of bringing it back, what would your reaction be?
I 1,000% in, because I'm doing stand-up, I have an insight. I'm just not an actor at home waiting for the phone to ring. I'm on the ground. I run around Boston and get a little bit of, the energy here, which is intense. Hey, let's hug it out, bitch. Where's Mark? Where's Marky Mark?
That's right. Yeah, I'd imagine he comes up often here, yeah.
Oh, no, I love it. Because he, was the inspiration for Entourage. Old School, Todd Phillips, the brilliant writer and director of that, who has gone out and said, I don't think that, a raunchy comedy like that could survive in this climate. And I think he's completely wrong. I think not only could it survive, but it would thrive, because the number one piece of content last year on Netflix was the roast of Tom Brady, which couldn't have been more raunchy.
Right.
Could not. And so people just want funny. And if it's raunchy and funny, my mom used to have a great saying in my house growing up, you can say whatever you want as long as it's funny. And it was
good.
Incredible. Yeah. And I think that's the way the country is right now. So I think, to be honest with you, the first one in is going to be a king, because it's going to blow up. That first real raunchy comedy that hits, that's funny, it's game on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm in. I'm totally in.
I feel like both of those would be perfect. PCU too?
Well, PCU was so ahead of its time.
It was.
I mean, there were jokes in that where, like, everyone, would do anything to protest. And my character was, like an 8th year senior. And it was amazing. This is a million years ago, but it was before its time. And so they finally got them to stand down and not protest. And they're like, we're not gonna protest. I mean, it was just so funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And maybe you just answered it, but like Keefe was going through your career, Old School, Entourage, PCU. Do you have a favorite role? Like a lot of people probably have a favorite role for you. Do you have a favorite role that stands out in your mind?
In terms of what I'm capable of doing as an actor, and being able to fire on all cylinders, I'll make some cliched sports analogies, but like, you know, let's say that, I'm Caleb Williams and I operate better on the move. You know what I mean? And I'm not a guy that's operate a lot, right out of center. Like I'm used to rolling out and all that kind of stuff. Like with Ari Gold, I got to utilize so much of my skill set, because the character was like, I played him like a Greek tragedy. He was over the top emotionally, and then got to, break it down and be softer with the wife and all this type of stuff. But my best role for me personally, and the thing that I'm most kind of connected with is something that I've been working on for 15 years called The Performance, that'll be out this year, that is an adaptation of an Arthur Miller short story where I play a Jewish tap dancer in 1937 that hides his identity and dances for Hitler. And whenever I would tell that to anyone, they would laugh in my face, and that's why it took me 15 years to find the money. But and the rest of the roles, to be honest with you, that it's just me as a grunt. I'm like a special teams player. I'm a journeyman actor, which is what I am. I really am a journeyman actor. I'm on the practice squad, and I've been that guy my whole life. And then I got called up for Entourage. And by the way, that was still, I was used very sparingly. I would come in, maybe, to block a punt, literally in that role. Yeah. And I was going to be a fringe player, and then came in and, I contributed, and Doug Ellen, who wrote it, is, brilliant. And he saw, okay, there's something going on here. Let's explore and heighten this character. But I had a limited contract on that show. Everyone else, I was last on the call sheet, dead last. E was first, and Ari Gold was last. And, that's just the way it is. And I was the oldest. I was 40,
and the best on the show, if we're being honest.
Well, I was 40 movies into my career when I started.
Yeah.
And then I blew up and won the Fresh Face of the Year at 40 years old. And I started at 8. So I was 32
There
years.
he is, the fresh face.
32
his first
years.
role.
Yeah, 32-year overnight success. And there was nothing fresh about my face.
I'm curious, you mentioned with all the different roles you've been in, is there an obscure, what's the most obscure reference that somebody bumping into you at the airport has come up? Because I'm sure there's like the big 4 or 5 that people obviously associate with you. I love the movie Very Bad Things. I remember seeing that.
It's so funny.
Like, is that
one? Literally, you and I at that moment were thinking, in Very Bad Things, it couldn't be any darker than that film. But people, like, one guy yelled, "Oh, you're the dude that killed the hooker in the bathroom." And I'm like, that's a movie, you guys.
I didn't
kill the hooker in the bathroom.
But just a very memorable movie, very funny, unbelievable cast.
Well, like it's very interesting. Like my life is very, very strange, and I'm just a journeyman actor that puts everything I have into my roles. And I had an actor, and I won't name who it is, but come up to me, a really good actor, and go, "Mate, you want to do a little Charlie in the bathroom, a little bit,
Russell Crowe.
No, that's not. No, Russell did come up to me, and I'll tell you that story in a minute.
Crocodile Dundee?
No.
That's crazy.
No. And he goes, "Come on, mate. What do you say? A little bit of little Charlie?" And I'm like, "I don't do blow." And he goes, "Oh, mate, I've seen you do blow, mate. Come on, a little bit of the
that was acting, sir.
Nose candy." And I go, "No, bro, I don't do blow." I go, "Did you see Very Bad?" No, sorry. Did you see Smoking Aces?
Smoking Aces, another great one.
And he's like, "Yeah, man, I saw that." I go, "Did you think that?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "You're a really good actor." We were snorting powdered vitamin C. You know that. It was, and he's like, "Oh, mate." God. And so
that's how believable you were.
Yeah, it's so believable that I was a drug addict.
Yeah, you're going crazy in that movie.
I mean, listen, I was wearing colored contacts that make the eyes red. I mean, that's what we do. We pretend for a living. But the fact that this guy was convinced was, it blew me away, and there's a really big compliment in there, and I appreciate
yeah.
it. But yeah, Russell Crowe came up to me at a party one time in a tuxedo with a couple beers in his hands, and he goes, "Mate, I have to say, I saw you very bad things, man. There's only way you and I could possibly, I'm thinking about it, right? There's only way you blew my phone line back. And I was going to say, maybe there's only way we'll fail. And I was like, wait, Russell Crowe,
like,
what?
Gladiator. Holy smokes.
Unbelievable. You know, and what he was saying is, I want to work with you, mate. I saw you in very bad things. Unbelievable. I was like, Maximus wants to work with me.
Oh, it is amazing.
And it was incredible. We've never worked together, but I guess people call him Maximus like the way they call me Ari Gold. And you know, at first I was, you know, it was a bit confronting, and you know, as an actor, like, wait, I've done so much more, but now you're like, yeah, bless you. But you know, when they come to watch this transition, when they come to the Wilbur Theater Friday night to see me, they're going to get Jeremy Piven telling stories from the set. You know, what it's like, and doing an hour of stand-up, whether it be, you know, doing impressions or observational stuff, you know, whatever it is. Like, it's stuff that just happens in the moment, you know, that you can just throw up there. And for me, it's a way to use my entire skill set. And now I'm just calling all the plays. You know what I mean? I'm the quarterback, the head coach, the linebacker, I'm everyone.
We do something every Wednesday, a very popular segment called Would You Rather Wednesday.
Okay.
I think it's the alliteration that we like that really pops. I got a few for you.
Yeah, what do you think of that name? It seems like you're hesitant on the name there.
Would You Rather.
Oh, you like
good.
that?
Okay.
Okay.
It's a great game.
It's sort of an either or, Jeremy, is what we're asking for. So would you rather be really, really hot or really, really cold?
Well, it's funny you say that, because I'm getting older, as I'm actually touching my knees right now because I just got off a plane, you know, 6-hour flight. And so I used to look at a woman in a short skirt and I'd be like, wow, she's hot, right? And now I'm like, I wonder if she's cold.
She might be a little cold. Yeah, get her a little.
That's what happens when you get older.
Okay.
No kidding. Okay.
So I think I would rather, to be honest with you, I'd rather be hot.
Okay.
Yeah, because I grew up in Chicago, so I grew up cold.
All right.
Okay.
Would
Keith vehemently disagrees.
I hate sweating. I do not like to
yeah.
sweat.
I love to sweat.
I prefer to be cold. Would you rather the ability to fly or the ability to be invisible?
I'd rather fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think invisible is for the creepers, and you know, bless you. And I think you're probably a cold creeper.
Creeper.
Yeah.
I think that is how you've answered both of those in the past.
Invisible cold.
I think
invisible
that
guy
is.
was cold.
Yeah, a guy
true.
was cold in the corner just looking at okay, peeping. No, I'd like the ability to fly, because I've had it in dreams, and that would be amazing.
All right. Would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire?
I think a vampire, just because.
Who's the creep now?
Well, no, you just keep it going. You just live forever, like Keanu Reeves.
It's true. That's a good point.
That is true.
All right, and then lastly, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
I think 1 horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The odds are even.
Yeah, you just got one right in front of you.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean?
That's it.
I love how,
huge duck,
I love how people
You
are
just can focus
obsessed
on
with,
it, yeah.
with like how many men could, you know,
the
fight a
gorilla one?
silverback ape.
That was good. Which side of that were you
Yeah,
on?
while you're there, yeah.
Look, man, you know, a silverback, I just feel like I don't know if there's a way to win.
No.
You know, I love these guys, you know, that are going to put a rear naked choke on a.
Don't think so.
They're like, John Jones could do it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that silverback might rip his head off and start eating its torso.
I agree.
Well, Jeremy Piven, we appreciate the time participating in some Would You Rathers.
Yes.
Check out his U.S. National Stand-Up Tour at the Wilbur on Friday. If you want to check out other dates, jeremypiven.com. That's jeremy-piven.com. If you want to check out other dates and locations on
By
the
the way,
tour.
at the Wilbur, the VIP are sold out, but don't let that detour you, because every seat is great. 1,100
definitely.
seats, intimate. Everybody wins. Let's hug it out, bitch.
What are the Boston crowds like? You like the
Unbelievable.
Boston crowds are good, right?
Yeah, you know, because they're very vocal. They have fun. But if you earn their respect, you got to earn their respect, which is great. They're not just going to give it up, and they want to see what you got. And they keep you on your toes. For sure.
No, we talk to them daily here, and so we're still waiting to earn their respect here on this show.
Listen, maybe on the 12th of never. That's the day. Put it in your calendars. Thank you, guys.
All right, Jeremy Piven joining us here. We have the hashtag Dork Minute.